first thing that I made was the porcelain dumplings. I don't even know where I got the idea from, but I have always wanted to kind of bridge my art and my identity. I think I noticed that the clay felt a little bit like dough. And so I rolled out the porcelain and I cut it into a circle, and then I was like very quickly able to figure out how to fold it just like a real dumpling. Food was always really important to my family. My mother really cared about all of us sitting down to the dinner table every night, and that the TV wasn't on. She'd play classical music. It was just a really important time for her. And I think that for a lot of Asian parents, food is the way they show affection. I think that as first and second generation Asian Americans, identity has been a really complicated thing for us. Growing up in a white country, and now maybe in our adulthood, trying to reconnect with our roots. That's at the core of why this project speaks to people, and that's why it excites people as they are grappling with their own identity. I think this kind of has an emotional pull for them. The food of our childhood, the groceries of our parents, and everything that means. So it wasn't until I got to college in Boston, which is a very white city, that I started thinking more about my identity. I met a Chinese American woman and we became friends, and I realized that our sense of humor was really in line with each other, and whenever we talked about our childhoods, they were really similar, even though she grew up in Santa Fe, New Mexico, and I grew up in Central Jersey. That made me start thinking about, okay, what is it about Asian American identity that I could feel so close to her compared to my white friends that I grew up with? At the time, I think I thought of it like more of a commercial pursuit, right? Oh, here's something that will sell. And I especially thought like, oh, I bet white people would love to buy a dumpling. Maybe I can capitalize off their exoticization of me, right? What really surprised me was how immediately the Asian diaspora grabbed onto this idea and how much they liked it. Right away, people started sharing really personal stories with me that I never expected or even solicited. There were a lot of comments about soy sauce, but as a Taiwanese person, I know that the thing that is the most important in a dipping sauce is black vinegar. And so I wanted to make an iconic bottle of black vinegar that would be a kind of wink to Asian Americans. They would know, okay, this is the real deal. And white people would be like, what is this? As soon as I made the black vinegar and it was a nod to the Asian community, Asian viewers just went kind of crazy for it. They really reacted to it and had an emotional response to it. When I started the groceries, I was specifically choosing groceries that I remembered from my parents' pantry. But as the project continued and I was interacting with all of these, viewers of my art, I wanted other people within the Asian American diaspora to feel seen also. And so at this point, I've made a lot of groceries that I know are very important to Filipino Americans, Indonesian Americans, Malaysian Americans, things that I never grew up with. I don't even know how to cook with it, but the Asian American community contains multitudes. A lot has been said about how that term Asian American can be really flattening. What do people mean when they say Asian American? Do they just mean Chinese, Japanese, and Korean American? There are so many other identities within that one identity, and also all the countries in South Asia. It's been important to me that other people in this diaspora feel seen.